Well, good afternoon and welcome to Billy Goat Tales. This is Dave Digital up in the corner. Red Man next to me over here. I can't get the direction right. And Jimmy Jim up above. And this is Tex-Mex Biomex. Crypto Billy can't be with us today. He sends his well wishes to everybody. But let's jump into today's stream. We're going to be diving into the wild world of altcoins, those high risk, sometimes high reward cryptos stealing the spotlight this month. And we're on the verge of a monster altcoin season. We're going to be breaking down altcoins like SUI, XRP is knocking on the door of all-time highs as well. And we're going to look into projects like Ondo and Solana, prime for some explosive growth. With Bitcoin dominance cooling and capitals rotating, it's now the moment. Will altcoins take off? Well, we'll see. Dave Digital, you want to say hello to the chat? Actually, I guess
man.
First, right?
What's
going on with you, Dave Digital?
Oh, just hanging out. I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. Definitely not the strongest whenever we're after a big old pump like that. So we're going to see if we're going to get a short, or are we going to get a long, or are we going to get both, or are we going to take neither? Only time will tell.
Yes, indeed. Red Man, what's going on, brother?
Happy Sunday, everybody. Thankful to be here. Thankful for another day, not promised. And, I'm loving this price action out of Bitcoin right now. Back over to you, Tony.
Jimmy Jim, what's going on with you today?
Oh, man, not too much. Enjoying a Sunday afternoon.
Seems like you're going to be busy with Taco Bear a little bit later. So let's jump on in. And I guess, Dave, now is a good time, better than any, than to say hello to the chat. Who's going on?
Yeah, man. Let's say hello to the chat. What's going on? Jesse was in there first, yelling out Giver's Gain. Then we had Red Man and the team. We had Mike V in there saying, hola, boys. Andrea saying hi to the boys. Let me see here. We had K Diggs shouting out Giver's Gain. He said, happy Sunday, crypto fam. Happy Sunday to you, K Diggs. We got Jesse again, Jimbo Fett. Of course, the boys are in there. The girls are in there. Patricio Marquez, stay thirsty, my friend. Dutchie's in there. He said Dave Digital's alt account sent him. Very interesting. Seems sus, Dutchie. We see we got the Philly Whiz kids in there, one of Jimmy's buddies from the breaks. And that's it. Tex-Mex Biomex right there at the bottom, rounding it up. If I missed you, say hi so that I can say hi back.
There you go. Say hello to everybody. And Red Man, are you ready for those crypto bubbles?
Let's go. All right, let me just get myself out of the screen here. Hold on 1 second. Just bear with me. All right, let's see what we got here. This is on the hourly. We got TIA's up 1.2, showing a little bit of stability, up 7.6 for the month. I like this climb with Bitcoin. Looks like a lot of coins are following Bitcoin. Let's see what else. We got IOTA. We don't really hear much from IOTA. They're up one spot up to 87. They're up 42% for the year, so congratulations, IOTA people. Let's go on to the daily. A lot more green in the daily. Look at H-bars up 22%.
Popping a little bit, right?
What's that?
I think your mic's popping.
Your mic is popping.
Anybody else hearing that? Yeah.
Is it? Here, let me switch it over.
It kind of got a little better when you just said, let me switch it over.
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it sounds good.
The level is too high.
All right. Okay.
Dutchie says you're streaming from the bathroom.
I'm streaming from the bathroom. Yep, probably. Now everything's not responding. Great. There we go.
Back into the flow. Right. There we go. Pingu up.
Am I coming through? Am I coming through clear?
It does sound clear.
Okay. So we got H-bar is up 22.6%. H-bar is a everything play, AI, RWA. Watching this coin closely, it's up 2 spots up to the 16 spot. We got XLM. XLM has had a tremendous year at 416% in the green. So congratulations to the XLM Stellar people. I just put a short out on them. It's up 16 spots to number 12. We got the Penguin token. This thing's been ripping over the last month. It's up 200% over the last month. Still far away from its all-time high at 7 cents, though. So there's room to grow with the Penguin token. Algo is up 22%. We're seeing these high fundamental coins doing some damage right now. So good for them. There's utility. I like seeing these coins do well. It's up 91% for the year. It's up 22 spots. So good for the Algo fam out there. We got MOG up 15%. Just another meme coin. Let's see what else we got out there. Sandbox. Sandbox making some moves here. It's up 12% for the day, 30% for the week, 20% for the month. Good for the Sandbox people. This thing hasn't moved very much in the last year or two. Let's see what else is in here for the daily. That's pretty much all I see. Everything else is pretty much the same. Let's look at the monthly. For the month, XLM's up 89%. Like I said before, they're cruising. I'm not really seeing much other things for the month. What's that? What's that, Jimmy?
I was going to say you're still on the week.
Oh, yeah, on the weekly, yeah. Yeah, not really seeing much other than much change for the weekly. Let's go on to the monthly. The monthly H bar is up 52%. We got Bonk. Bonk made a humongous move. It's up 84% for the month. For the year, it's up 20%. It's up 21 spots to number 47. Bonk is moving. Congratulations to the Bonk people. SEI is up 81%. It's up 20 spots to number 57. It's about to clear that $2 billion market cap. I think it can do it. This is strong coins, strong fundamentals. There's a lot of things going on with the stable coins in this ecosystem. Look out for Say. Say is tremendous. So for the year, we still got virtuals still around the same spot, up 5,000%. SPX, we all know it's the meme coin. XLM up 400%, like I said before. XRP close to 500% gain. It's consolidating right now. It looks like it's primed for another pump. It's up 4 spots to number 3 now at $168 billion market cap, and that's XRP for you guys. Sui's up 366% for the year. Dave was saying before the stream, Sui looks tough. I'm looking at it. It looks like it's consolidating a little bit. It looks like it's primed for another pump. It's up 32 spots to number 13, $12 billion market cap. Pretty stable. Showing a lot of stability here in the month. It's up 13.8%. The week, it's up 17.9%. And we'll get into more altcoin talk during the show. But that's pretty much all I got for you, Tony.
Thank you. So I guess next up, Dave, we've got coin market cap. So let's check that out.
What do you mean? You mean you're ready for that, Tony?
I'm ready. So today we've got the overall market cap at 3.72 trillion, 3.72 trillion, up 2% for the day, for the week. We got the fear and greed index at 68 last week we were neutral. We're right at 50. Today we're up at 68. So we got some good jumps on the fear and greed. Look at the altcoin index is up to 31. I believe we were down in the 20s previously. And of course, today we're talking about the altcoin season. So Bitcoin is up almost 10% on the week, 1.42 on the 24-hour. We've got Ethereum up 17%, up 2% on the day. We've got XRP up 25%. Almost 5% on the day. So it looks like we're jumping up, at least so far. The numbers are telling us that. Of course, DYOR, do your own research, not financial advice here. But we've got BNB up slightly, almost 5% on the week, and as well as Solana, 7%. Dogecoin jumping almost 18 points on the weekly, and 2.52 today. And we got red. You can see all those numbers go up, I think. We got...
The hell's that noise?
It sounded like someone typing, but we got Tron up 6% and Cardano over 27% jump. So that's the top 10. And then as far as categories, we've got rehypothecated crypto, which we've talked about before, is obviously on number 1. That's people taking loans against their crypto. And then we've got AI and big data. Looks like we've got 3.6% gains, and real world assets almost 18%. Ondo is one of those real world assets. I think we might talk a little bit about that later. IP memes 30%, and there you go. So tokenized assets 0.6%. NFTs, of course, these are only the Ethereum based. None of these are Cardano, or not just Ethereum, but Pudgy Penguin's still at number one. I've still got my Pudgy Penguin. You can see it up. I think you can see it up here. Where is it? Over there, perhaps in my background. That Andrea sent me. Thank you very much, Andrea. And then Bored Ape Yacht Club, Lil Pudgies, and we got a few different ones there. So, all right. Well, we're done with the market cap. What's next, guys? What do we got? We're going to talk about
over.
altcoins.
Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for coming, y'all.
Show's over. Thanks for coming. So we're going to talk about altcoin market trends today. Let me take that off the screen. Have a nice day. Have a nice Sunday. Oh, Dave Digital is the first super chat ever of all time on Billy Goat Tales. All right. So super chats are live, fam. Memberships, we'll see. Dave, are you able to use the emojis that we put in there yet? We were told that we have 24 hours for YouTube to review them. So
you could only have super sticker or a super chat right now.
All right. So super chats and super stickers are available. Our subscriptions.
Dave could have just gave me the $100 and I would have kept 30% and gave him 70 back.
There's Red.
There's one from Red. All right. Well, you can see that super chats are open now, fam. Use them if you like. What is this? Let's celebrate the 20th super on a live stream. Okay.
It's really awesome that you guys, we got this far, that we've gotten so many watch hours, that we're finally at this point. Don't feel any obligation, of course, to super chat. That's not what we're here for, but we think it's cool that we've hit that milestone. And we think it's really going to be cool whenever we're able to release some emojis. So that's the fun part. And it's not to make $1 million on an emoji, but it's definitely to engage and have fun and have our own style and have a little bit of you guys inside of the chat, inside of the fun part. So we're excited. Just a happy milestone for us.
Yeah, and our number one emoji should be in the number one slot is that WD-40 can. And then we've got a couple other surprises. We have the DDT butt emoji. We have an open the club emoji, Billy Goat Tail style, and we'll and what other emoji do we have, Dave?
We have
it wasn't a tribute to the best mod in the business.
Oh, of course. We have an AG1 emoji, or Alexander G emoji.
That's right. We got an Alexander G emoji. And then, of course, we'll have some more emojis as we continue to grow. The way it works is that you've got to have a certain amount of memberships, and that gives you more emojis. And then you have more memberships, that gives you more emojis. So we've got a couple more lined up. We have OG, the Otter Gang emoji up next. So once we've got that subscriptions open and we hit certain metrics, then we'll be able to open up the other ones that we already have planned. So right now we have one in the waiting room, and I'm sure we'll have several more. So
I sense a little jealousy in the audience from Dutchie.
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 Yeah, somebody wants a clog emoji, I guess.
No clogs, not a real channel.
Look at that.
All right.
Well, all right, Dutchie.
Let's see how it is, Dutchie.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Are we gonna touch on the book or the weekend at Billy's?
Well, we can touch on the book and weekend at Billy's, but Redman, are you ready for to intro the Redman's Tricky Wolf and the Wise Boy?
I'm always ready, sir. Let's go.
Yeah. So
Hi, Red.
hopefully, hey, how are you doing? So hopefully these Billy's book and my book will be in the library here soon, so little kids can read them all over America and hopefully the world one day. But we'll see what happens. No, this book is good for ages 4 to 14. This is kind of our way of giving back to the community. And wow, Andy just exploded on the scene with the 49.99. What is that? A super chat? Wow. My goodness, Andy, thank you so much for that. But anyways, yeah, so the book is on Amazon. The link is in my bio. The link is in Billy Goat Tales Twitter page. You can access it through the link tree on the Billy Goat Tales page. It'll take you straight to my book and Billy's book as well. So Tony, that's pretty much all I got for you right now on that part.
All right. Well, I'll share briefly. So for those of you that may have not known, what am I sharing?
Something
Not sharing
briefly.
it yet. For those
You were going
that
to share
may
your briefly.
not know, so the Billy Goat Tales or Billy's book, The Bridge to Bitcoin. When we did our first book, we had hired a team, and there was a few mistakes within it. So we went through, we learned obviously on Red's book how to do this process, and so we've already updated Billy's book, The Bridge to Bitcoin. It's fully correct and how it should be finally now. And so, of course, if you already have a copy, I don't think you need to necessarily buy one. But if you want to have the original and then the new one, then of course, feel free to jump into it. But let's jump into Lake Hartwell and talk a little bit about that. I know Billy likes to play instruments. I don't think this is a depiction of the actual Airbnb we're at, but I love the guitars in the background. And there's beautiful Lake Hartwell right there. Yeah, this is just another VRBO site. So they're getting some advertising. You got a little coffee cup. You can have some coffee by the water. I'm sure we'll enjoy that. I believe someone popped up in the background. Did they not? And so we look forward to that. The team is actually just looking today and make sure we get our flights that were so we can be there on time and be there to get ready for Poman to jump in and enjoy the time with us. And so yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be in October and we will be going to the foodie event. What's it called, Jimmy? Fall for Greenville?
Fall for Greenville.
And I still, every time I look, I still haven't seen the lineup. Hopefully we'll get that lineup of the musicians that we have. Redman's messing around with the screen in the background.
Sorry, guys. Let me get this situated. Thank you. Sorry.
I've got my green screen's working. I took a picture of my background and then put it as a green screen. So sometimes if you see something behind it, then that's obviously there. So let's get into today's topic. And DDT, there's our link is in our pinned post up at the top of the chat. If you want to join us up here on the stream here in just a little bit, DDT, the stream is there.
Just in here. I don't know where he went.
I thought I saw him too. I thought I heard the sound that we hear. But we're going to talk a little bit about altcoin market trends. So who wants to lead that off? Dave, you want to start us off on that?
Well, we just want to know. I mean, everybody's calling for alt season. And every time we called for it, there's been nothing. You call for alt season, you think what alts are going to happen. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high and nothing. And then we do it again. Everybody thinks alt season's coming. Bitcoin hits another new all-time high and alt season's nothing. So are we almost there? There's some things that are pointing towards it. So I think let's do a deeper dive, hopefully today, into specific alts. If you're in the chat, go ahead and put your alts into the chat and maybe we can look at them. But let's go look. Let's look what the money flow is telling us. Let's look what the charts are telling us. Are there some alts that maybe are going to go ahead and explode? Are we going to get some sort of an alt season? And which alts are going to play a part of that? And which alts do we just think are going to do a dead count bounce? And that's how we want to play it and just let them go, let them die. I think there's a mix of both of those and some things that'll surprise us, I think. So we'll get a deeper dive into those alts and we'll let the charts tell us what we think is going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. So Redman, I think you had pulled up some information on some. We have a little, not a little. We have someone who gives us a lot of insight into different articles and out there. Our friend Andy, and she shares stuff with myself and Redman. And so Red's going to pull up one of the articles. We can talk a little bit about ETH, and maybe that's something that is part of the conversation here today. So
Yeah,
let's blow Red's screen.
Sorry. Yeah, so go ahead and
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Thank you. So we got this from Andy. She shared us in our little group chat that we have, and it talks about the Ethereum Foundation selling 10,000 ETH to SharpLink. SharpLink is a gaming company. Did a little research on them. This is actually their profitability is contingent upon ETH doing well, basically, because they haven't done well so far themselves. But if ETH goes up, this investment really works out big time for them. So they spent $25.7 million on an OTC deal, making the first direct acquisition of ETH by a publicly listed company from the foundation. SharpLink, trading under SBET, plans to use ETH as its primary treasury reserve assets, staking and restaking to support the Ethereum ecosystem. The transaction was completed at $2,572 per ETH and comes amid ETH ETF inflows and renewed interest in protocol native finance. So basically they bought this. They bought the 10,000 ETH OTC at 2,500. Where is ETH trading today? I think it's 3,000 something. Isn't it? They're already up on it, aren't they, Dave?
I think it's 2,900.
29. Yeah, so they're already up on their investment.
2,983, almost 3.
Right. So just doing a little background here on SharpLink itself. It says research should suggest SharpLink Gaming Inc. stock is highly liquid, with a high average daily trading volume and recent options trading enhancing tradability. Let's see here. Operationally, the company appears flexible, having streamlined its business and holding significant ETH for financial agility. Let's see here, but I think it was in the other one. Because I asked Grok if it was liquid or not. Here we go. So SharpLink Gaming Inc. is a pioneering company in online performance marketing and DeFi, with a unique Ethereum treasury strategy that has given significant stock volatility and market interest. However, its financials indicate challenges, and the strategy's success depends upon ETH stability and broader adoption. So basically, if ETH works out, this investment works out. But right now, as you can see, their market cap for SharpLink is 1.55 billion, and it's showed up here. Here it is right here. Net income is negative 3.58 billion, but I'm sure that's going to change with the price of ETH. And I don't know how much more profit they'll bring, but it will definitely, I mean, if we could see, I guess we're going to get into some levels with DDT later on in the show, and we'll find out how high ETH can potentially go. But right now, as it stands, SharpLink itself is trying to make a business move to further the profitability of their company. And I think they're heading in the right direction. I mean, ETH has a ton of upside. We were just talking about last week, Tom Green is going to be buying ETH on the regular. So I just think it's a great move for the company to become more liquid, to have a higher profitability and to make their stock go up. And it's, of course, ETH is sexy right now with the positive price action that ETH's had over the month. So, yeah,
Indeed.
that.
So we have the altcoin season index chart. I'm going to share that here real quick. Redman was looking into that as well for us. Let's see, get the right chart in here. So right now it's at 31. You can see that it had been down at 19 just a month ago, and Red was looking into it, and apparently 79. When it hits 79, then that's officially altcoin season. So last year in December 3rd, December 3rd, 2024. There was an altcoin season. It hit 87. The yearly low has been April this year is at 12, and it looks like we're rising back up. And of course, today we're talking about altcoins in general and whether it's time for that trend for it to pump and run. So
the way this indicator works is if you get a reading of 75 or above, that means 75% of the top 50 or 100 altcoins are doing better at Bitcoin at that point. If you get a 75 or above, we are officially in alt season. And as of right now, what are we, 31? So we're not there yet, Tony.
31 and on the climb. So we let's see what type of community hype. So what are people saying in the chat, Dave, as far as altcoin season or alt season? Are we ready? Are we there?
Well, I know Mike Vollmer saying, welcome with the super chat, $1.99. Congratulations on getting the super chat. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate that. And we saw Andrea come in with a $49.99 super chat. We got Jimmy going back and forth with a few people in the chat. And we got Gandhi G calling for a 19K ETH. What do you think about that? Tex-Mex Biomex, are we going to 19K for ETH?
Eventually, maybe.
You think maybe you need to be an optometrist?
Yeah,
19K for ETH. Y'all are never seeing me again. That's all I'm saying.
That's Moon Boy Central right there.
Now, so it ain't surprise next Sunday.
Yeah. We have Army Piper in the chat, and Wifey showed up in the chat. Crypto Al's in the chat. So just a few more people to join us. Don't forget to check out the stream, guys. Really helps a lot, especially for a brand new channel like ourselves.
Indeed.
And so I did see that we have DDT down there. Did we? Where are we at with that, Tony? Do we want to run an intro for DDT?
Yeah. Well, let me just get some points off here, and then when we bring up DDT, we can do the charts, and then we'll go into Bitcoin dominance and really what that means. But so when we're going to talk about some Bitcoin stability and highs and some points in the altcoin season, so obviously Bitcoin's trading over 118. People say that it could, once it hit 110, Arthur Hayes is saying once it hit 110, it could finally trigger this altcoin rotation. So, looks like we're heading in that direction. Ethereum, obviously, and Solana showing 18% gains. And then we've got the performance like Meme Core, which is up several. Of course, any of the meme coins, you got to do your own research. But Stellar is up. Red just did a video on Stellar. Stellar's up 67.43%. And it, even though we've got all these gains on all the coins, the Bitcoin dominance hasn't gone down yet. But yeah, let's go and bring up DDT. We'll see you down in the backstage.
Darren.
Evening all.
Evening.
Hopefully the mic's okay. Sorry, I was having a few technical issues with the camera. Didn't want to work. Yeah, hope everything. Okay. Yeah, everything seems good. Is everyone pumped? Are we all Moon Boys?
We are. I mean, we're
19,000 ETH.
And I gotta say, I do check in on whenever something big's happening. I check on Frankie's Discord. Just to see what you're saying, and that stops me from getting into a lot of bad trades, I think.
That's good to know. At least I can be the voice of reason. That's okay. But yeah, this week there's not actually been that many too bad trades. If you were long anywhere from between 100 to 105K, you basically have had a free ride up. But I'll pull up a chart and we can get cracking. I've not really prepared much alts, or many alts. So if you do want me to look at them, then just a word of caution that they may be on the fly. But I can do that. Obviously, I do have them mapped out, but obviously there might be some slight changes to what I show.
I think we're just going to keep it simple. So either you can do it or I can do it. We're just really looking at the basic stuff like the 2-day money flow crossover. Who's got some gas that's just barely even getting started? Who's not been putting any gas on the fire yet? And where can we get in and maybe make some gains even with the spot buy? Just kind of look at it like that and see from a chart perspective where the alts are going to go. And is there going to be an alt season and who's included?
On a lot of coins, obviously the 2-day money flow has been strong. So Solana had a 2-day cross, ETH had a 2-day cross, HBAR I know had a 2-day cross. I think SEI as well has had a 2-day cross. So kind of that's been, specifically looking at market cipher, that's kind of been the thing that's moved kind of those specific coins. Obviously money is coming into those coins specifically because of narrative. But also as well, obviously Bitcoin moved back from 100K, also came, what was it, 100K? Back from 75 to 80K, also started moving up, also based off the 2-day money flow. So for some context, obviously that's quite a strong signal, specifically on market cipher B. A 2-day money flow crosses green or red. Obviously that kind of can predict quite big moves. So I don't know if my chart's been brought up, but I can quickly do a quick fire on Bitcoin to give us some time to look at alts.
Sure. Let's warm up with a little Bitcoin calisthenics.
So yeah, I don't know if it's been brought up yet. I can just see. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, guys. So yeah, obviously we had this range from May, volume profile, bing bonging. We had obviously went sideways, literally just traded this whole range for a while, for going on 2 months. Obviously hit here, kind of around 105 to 108K, kind of this little top section. The one thing I did see on this week was that when this range was coming to an end, we had the 4-hour money flow kind of giving us a sign to kind of the momentum waves were slowing down, kind of not anchoring. So the momentum waves had got shallow, and then obviously you had lots of money flow kind of chop, and then this money flow red cross here kind of, and the breakout of that high, of the high above whatever it was, 109, 110 obviously, and then the back test, obviously continuation has given us the move back up. Money flow, it's structure break, there's a lot of things obviously. And then what also was happening, what I could see that's a little bit more technical, is there was an order book flush out. So basically that happens when market makers or Binance decide to full send on Wednesday and Thursday, just on those big orders or kind of transactions that I see in a Telegram group that I'm in. Basically they did about $5 billion of transactional value on perps, transactional volume on perp longs. So that basically forced the move. Vector candles, only they can do it. These candles here, there was 3 billion of volume literally just on those candles when they pumped it. So that kind of got us up, and obviously we've ranged into the weekend. For those that know me, I look at the weekend range. Basically what's gone sideways, I've pulled a volume profile, and we are looking a bit toppy here. And obviously there's liquidity at 120, which we've just front run. If I'm looking currently now kind of where I think we could go, so we broke out the weekend range. We had a W formation here, which is a bottoming formation. There, broke, came back, and now I've gone up, and obviously kind of, structures kind of assisted. 15-minute trigger wave, green obviously also gave the move up. So there was a few things on market cipher, but also as well now, specifically, I think things are starting to get frothy in the sense that this is probably, even last weekend, there was quite a decent amount of weekend volume. So for the most part, all I'm looking for at Bitcoin now, obviously 120K, key resistance, we've kind of front run it here. I kind of can't really see us not going there. I think we may, kind of just because we're closer to there than the actual supports, in my opinion. So, and also as well, everything is still looking strong. If you look across a lot of the lower time frames on market cipher B, you'll see as well, specifically on Bitcoin, the momentum waves aren't dropping. Specifically, they'll like roll over at the top, like above 50, 60 here, and then literally come back up quickly on trigger waves. So it literally is not doing this, right? Not doing that, then coming down, then going up and coming down, right? Not giving us the rolling hills. So that kind of depicts and outlines very bullish market structure, and kind of bulls are in control. So keep the shorts very short if you do look for shorts, but currently nothing. So one thing I was looking at, I took one little loss somewhere here where they blasted me out my short position. But I kind of had a small short here, which I scalped, just basic like small little SFP trades, and also quick ins and outs, because once we broke the like 112, the initial, once we broke this all-time high here, ideally you want there to be after an all-time high, you want the price to settle. It didn't range long enough for me to suggest that we wouldn't go high, and obviously money flow and everything was looking up. So currently, kind of thinking 120 is where we'll land up, and then kind of to the downside at this point, there is a kind of zone around here. Kind of this zone here is probably, if we do drop, next scene of the crime. So between 115.3 and 116, basically, there's a little node of volume here, which I would probably give weight to if it's going to drop, kind of, and then, yeah, not to get too bearish, but if we drop there, we're going back down to 113, 114. So on the way up, kind of volume gap in the big candles, the big green vector candles, volume gap. So kind of the supports are there, right? Supports are where your ranges are and where there's built volume. So you've only got that below you, really, on kind of Bitcoin at this point. So you got 3 zones of support. If you're looking at Fibonacci's, you just pull off the impulse. Kind of the most likely impulse would probably be off that one, kind of 113, 114, kind of your main zone. But also as well, it's quick up, quick down, right? So obviously it took the escalator up, it could also take the escalator down. So you just got to bear that in mind. If it loses these zones, obviously it's a quick trick drop between each. So that's just something to bear in mind. But
but think about that. What a world we live in, that the bear scenario is 114K.
Yeah, it's madness.
That's wild.
Yeah, and also as well, like I think Sailor's buying again. But that's the thing, like there's such a institutional kind of FOMO where a lot of institutions, Michael Saylor, Strategy, all of them are just like FOMOing big time. And he's probably blasted the top here again, which is like he's openly saying he doesn't care. Like he'll buy the tops, he'll consistently buy tops. But for the most part, yeah.
So don't we see a lot of times what happens, Darren, is that we see this happens at the top and everybody thinks they're smart, right? They start to short and then we just get some kind of, like, this is where crypto face belongs.
Yeah, you need to, this is the thing that shorting, so kind of as I was saying, right, you had a big range here with up to the 110, 112. So it was you have to build a sufficient amount of volume and a sufficient range kind of to be able to short, right? So like we had these highs here at like 110, 19, 110, you could short it because obviously it was coming into the supply zone or kind of the resistance kind of, and then when you break it, you need to wait for a range to actually build the resistance and the support kind of within the range. And here you had one candle and look out, just took it out. Same thing. So for me, like in a long range, literally the range from May 9th to where we almost broke out now this week, there was enough resistance built up to actually try to short it. Whereas now it's just like up only, and also as well, it's trending. You never short a trend, right? Until you lose strength in the trend if you kind of basically trend trading. But the way you would trade the range, you let the range build itself out and build a support, build a support base, build a resistance, and then you trade between those kind of as range traders, as kind of our or my strategy or Frankie's strategy kind of works, right? You got to let the range build before you don't just short willy-nilly. And I got lucky kind of shorting in between kind of these things, but it was very quick because I know in a strong trend, we're not done in the strong trend yet, or we're not built out a range for me to have clearly defined supports and resistances to be able to kind of trade between. So yeah, that's kind of Bitcoin at the moment. Now I am not shorting it. Your probably best chance of a short is an SFP of this, but also as well, it's just been taking out the highs and carrying on going. So I'm very skeptical to short. I'd rather, even if I miss the short, I'd prefer just to wait for a better long zone at this point. Kind of trying to flip the switch and not be too bearish based on kind of what's happened kind of now this week.
So you think in the bullish environment that we're in, the 1 hour, you don't, even if we do rotate the 1 hour range that we've been seeing locally, that's really too risky for you to hop in. We'll just wait for it to rotate that range and look for a bull dip back out or a S&P back out.
Locally, you could trade this. Locally, you could definitely trade this if it takes out these lows, takes out all the liquidity below these low wicks. That's currently where it's built support. So
Yep.
take out those traders that came in there, swing failure pattern, buy ups, bullish candles. It would probably have to take that zones out and then kind of bounce back above, probably like 15-minute to 30-minute close above 117, and you could go. But also as well, look now, currently we're selling off. But this is the play as well. Basically, what happens is the last weekend as well, we had a hit high ranged. We had another attempt on the weekend range. Third attempt, it broke. Sold off a bit now, kind of in futures open into CME. Then Asia took it up again, and then we started a small downtrend to kind of then get New York in for the week on Monday, which is generally like the market maker play. So systems or kind of trading methodology or strategy taught by Tino from Traders Reality or Annie from Trade Travel Chill. So if it does come down now, that is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a long, basically, and I kind of that would be my bias now. I'm not going to short tops until we've got a clearly defined resistance. At this point, it's just clear air above us.
Tony, wait. Tony just bought into premium emojis. Did they go live? Oh, they
Red
are
Man
live.
is number 2. Red Man is number 2. We're live. So
Yeah, let's
sorry,
go.
DDT didn't mean to jump over that, but yeah, our subscription is open. Our subscription option is open. The all you need is the lowest level, and you'll be able to have the super chats and, or excuse me, the emojis. So we've got a couple emojis out there, and you can take a look at them in the chat. But
Let's see who gets
continue to go back to the charts.
Okay, quickly, can I go over ETH? Was it, and then like we can
let's do
rotate back to whatever you guys want to look at. So basically, ETH. Obviously, we had the big puke. Kind of got into the 1400, 1500 zone. We have the macro range sitting between 2100 and 3500, give or take. And basically for the last, I think, 2 months since May, it's kind of like Bitcoin, we literally just been ranging between 2600 and 2100. Obviously, it had the puke when Bitcoin went back down to 98 to 100,000, right, last week. So basically what it's done now, it's just literally flipped this POC. So obviously it was like literally just messing around and then obviously dropped and messing around again. It's now obviously flipped that POC or kind of moved above it, taken it out. And like Dave was mentioning earlier, we've had the 2-day money flow cross, literally as we're moving up from this 2100 support level. And obviously it's moved up. And then also as well, looking at the 4-hour, we also had 4-hour money flow kind of contracting and kind of going sideways. Like I was showing on Bitcoin, we had kind of this before the move. Like when it's ranging, it's very like choppy on money flow and choppy on the wave, the VWAP as well, kind of on market Cypher B. But what's happened is, yeah, it had the 4-hour money flow, a strong 4-hour money flow trend from about last Sunday, and then literally it's just gone up straight away. And yeah, so at this point, it's kind of hit resistance on a local valley area low. But I was just trying to get the time frame zoom out a bit. Yeah, so it's hit this valley area low, this volume profile, just below the macro valley area high range at this point. So that level is at, just map it out quickly. So yeah, it is looking strong, and obviously you got Tom Lee and you got all these kind of ETH bull sharp link. I think it's been mentioned by Redman. Kind of ETH is kind of having its day now, and also as well, I think Redman did touch on it. The Ethereum Foundation isn't dumping the ETH like literally onto exchange and selling it. They actually did the OTC deal with Sharplink or whoever it was, or SBET. So that actually is better in the sense that obviously it's not going to dump price. So it's a kind of neutral transaction. So more of that will actually help ETH price because kind of the main sellers of ETH have always been the ETH Foundation to kind of meet expenditure. So if they're selling OTC, there'll be less sell pressure on ETH basically. And obviously you have all these, also as well this week we had ETFs have the highest inflows. I think the inflows on ETH were higher than Bitcoin ETFs this week as well. So kind of net good for ETH. It's coming up to local value area low resistance. If I was looking at a support zone kind of for ETH, I'm looking kind of just below where it is now. And yeah, so money flow is still strong. It's obviously doesn't have 2 day. It has the 2 day cross, but obviously 3 to 5 days not looking good. But somewhere in there, kind of this flip, it's not really come back to back test this resistance. It just literally blasted through it. So that will kind of be between, and also as well, there's an anchored VWAP from the last bounce of the POC, this local POC at about 2,500. So I'm kind of looking about here between 2,800 to probably about 2,850 if it comes down. And yes, this is a mid-profile trade, so it's not necessarily what we would look at specifically. You'd obviously want to either trade the value area low or the value area high, kind of for your better trades. But just looking at money flow, you probably, yeah, it might come a bit lower just based on the fibs. But also as well, there is like order block here and there's a few things. So I'm thinking somewhere between 2750 to 2850 is kind of a bounce zone for ETH to put in a higher low. It could come lower, but that's kind of where I'm looking. Obviously, the next major resistance to the top, once it breaks above this kind of 3,029 level, is about 3,200, 3,300. And it doesn't look like there's actually much resistance in here. The next kind of basic resistance or order blocks at like above 3,200. So if ETH gets some fire beneath it, it can move. And it's kind of been an underperformer anyway. A lot of alts have still outperformed it, even though it's kind of the biggest market cap alt. So if ETH catches some bids, I think it can go and it can go quick. So yeah, and obviously I'll be looking. It needs to obviously flip 3,029 first, but then apart from that, if it flips that to support, then puts in a higher low above, it could go anywhere up to like 3,300, 3,400, and then I'm looking kind of 2,700, 2,800 probably for a higher low if it comes down. But in general, kind of money flow is looking good. Higher daily money flow, not so much, but it's coming up and trending up. So for the most part, and also as well, it's starting to build out a range here as well, which is good. So something that you do notice is just it's building a range in this zone. So it builds a range, lets the money flow come down, momentum wave come down, give it a little anchor wave, and then can burst through. So it's building support literally just below a resistance, which kind of would lead me to believe that it could more than likely go up or go higher and break the resistance. If it was just a straight up and literally puke, then I'd be less inclined to say something like that. But because it's now ranging literally just below the 3,029 or 3,030 resistance, my thought would be that obviously, yeah, it's getting red dots on a few time frames and stuff like that. Ebbs and flows could come a bit lower, but it would still build the range and build that value kind of here in the zone to then go higher, in my opinion. Just by kind of how I kind of use the volume profiles and kind of the kind of support and resistance levels, and also the market cipher, money flow and wave trends and those type of things to kind of gauge. But for now, looking bullish. And yeah, I'm thinking if Bitcoin continues up this week, it will definitely get towards. It could definitely, not definitely, but it could definitely possibly get to kind of close to 3,200, 3,300. Do another 10% quite easy.
DDT, can you look at the Bitcoin dominance?
Yeah, I did have that kind of prepared. So Bitcoin dominance. Yeah.
All right, we're losing your mic now.
Had a nice. And this is also good. This is probably the one thing I was looking at. So For those that know how I trade, I like the 4-hour money flow, kind of for swing positions specifically. So swing trading. So 4-hour money flow crossed red. So basically, if you were trading this, that would have been 4-hour money flow crossed red. You would look for the high low, and it would go. Well, literally rejected the local golden pocket. Right, came down, put in the lower low, came back up, LGP retest, came down, 50% retest, broke those supports. It's literally just putting in lower lows now, right? On the 4 hours specifically. The issue is obviously the daily is still bullish. Sorry to all the bulls who want to kind of get good old positions. Daily is still bullish. Daily is not broken structure. Daily has had a change of character, yes, because it's broken this pivot low. Just structure-wise, obviously I should be using volume profiles, but I'm kind of not prepared on that for this specific. But it's kind of had a change of character here. So it's not unlikely, and it's not probably what everyone wants to hear, but it's not unlikely that it will do another retrace up kind of into a 786 local golden pocket to put in another lower high to go lower. Ideally, on the daily, it needs to start breaking these, or it actually needs to start breaking 62%, but at least breaking kind of where it actually just bounced off there as well, bounced off that support level there at like 64. It needs to be breaking below 64 to kind of for better continuation of the alts to move up, specifically based on Bitcoin dominance dropping. And likelihood as well is that when Bitcoin dominance drops, Bitcoin will hopefully be going sideways, kind of building out a range again to trade. Ideally, we've had the fast trend up on Bitcoin. So ideally now we want Bitcoin to trend sideways and this to kind of, yes, it can come up a little bit, give us another lower high on the daily. But the 4 hours also, yeah, just printing lower highs and lower lows. If I had to have a guess based on kind of just good market structure and kind of where the lows are, it needs to break 62 or kind of it would need to break this low again, where it's just at 64, and then then these ones here at like 63 and a half. But it's getting there. It's getting there bearishly. But that just needs to feed up to the daily time frame for it to actually drop more, put in lower high on the daily again, and then drop below 64 down to 63, 62. So for the most part, this is looking good, and this is obviously also why most of the alts are pumped as well. Like altcoin run will happen eventually, right? So
let's look at ETH just one more time real quick, Darren, and let me ask you this. So if we pull up the weekly chart, right, and we pull out that whole thing as a range, right, from basically January of 21 all the way till now, right? So how likely is it, do you think, that this money flow is really ready? So let's look at it here. So you see we just got a little bit.
We've had the weekly cross screen as well. The only thing for ETH is obviously
it's such a minor, like it hasn't had any time down there. Do you think that it needs more time, like this, like in the past? Like if you look behind me, you see how it had this much time, and this time it's just a little dip. And you know, do you think it needs more time, or do you think that it's just showing that, hey, we might not get out of this range, or do we see all-time highs on ETH plus some? You know, do we get to the 1618 at 5,700?
For the most part now, I'm thinking a safe guess, kind of just based on market structure and based on where the next resistances are above us. If it does push up, it could possibly get to 3,300, 3,400, which is obviously these zones here above at the macro. Things are looking better. It definitely was suppressed because obviously the Bitcoin dominance was just raging up and Bitcoin was going up where ETH was doing nothing, and a lot of altcoins were doing nothing and also kind of not really moving. So I don't know if I have ETH BTC, but ETH BTC also had a breakout right? On the daily, there was a daily downtrend, daily resistance downtrend, which it broke out of, which a lot kind of on X or a few YouTube channels that I watch have kind of been showing that as well. The breakout had a break and retest, which is basically what you want. So specifically against Bitcoin, now Ethereum is kind of also looking a bit stronger, which kind of gives it a bit of a better kind of backbone and bit of more oomph in the sense that it's got its ETH BTC pair with ETH showing more strength than Bitcoin currently behind it, kind of backing it. So that's also something to take into account. All the other times ETH has been running, the ETH BTC pair has been in a constant downtrend, and also as well, Bitcoin has been outperforming ETH, where I think literally from 1500, 1600 on ETH, it's literally outperformed Bitcoin. Kind of just.
And ETH has faked us out, right? So 3 times basically it's faked us out at the 4,000 mark. Is it going to fake us out again, or are we going to get through it?
Based on something that I look at, I would probably the weekly won't give you a time frame. So if you're looking at the daily, you got to watch the money flow, watch the trend on the money flow when it gets there. Was that the 4,000 here? Let's just zoom back. So ETH deep dive basically here. What I would say is when ETH was getting up here to 4,800 or whatever it was, there's a clear downtrend starting on the money flow, right? So when ETH gets back up there, it needs to not have a downtrend. The money flow needs to not be rolling over. You should not be getting 4-hour money flow crossovers into the red on Ethereum. You ideally want everything to be continuing up, an uptrend basically on the money flow. And obviously the last few times that it's got up above 400 or 4,000 or 3,000, the daily money flow is rolling over. So it wasn't really, it was topping out essentially. Whereas kind of you want to see more of a continuation kind of with the money flow trending up still rather than rolling over. It's unlikely to break it now, but if it gets there, I would presume that it's got a lot more legs to go higher when it gets there. Just kind of personal opinion based on the fact that I think that obviously coming into the timing cycle now with kind of these few months now left in the rest of the year would give us the alt season or the time of the cycle where we periodically would get the alt season. So for the most part, yeah, I would say also as well, if it did 3 hits there, that's also quite a bullish thing, because if it's rejected a level 3 times, usually on the 4th time it will, usually on the 4th time, if you're looking at back tests, generally, specifically on higher time frames, it should break. That's kind of also another strategy that I look at specifically, like you constantly knock on a door, it will open eventually. So I just think with the way things are now with ETH, kind of to the way things were like 12, 18 months ago, it's just looking a lot better kind of technically, the way that it's trading, and then also as well kind of the fundamentals now behind it with ETH ETFs, obviously the treasury companies and all those type of things. It was like doom posted for so long, but now it's actually getting some kind of weight behind it and kind of good support and backing from fundamentals as well as technicals. And obviously we mainly technical traders, but the fundamentals and kind of these treasury companies and kind of the good news about ETH, it does help. It does help a project. It does help a coin. So you kind of have to keep that in the back of your mind. So not just speaking technically or kind of specifically on the technicals, the kind of the fundamentals are now starting to move in alignment with it as well.
So check back in around 3,300 and then we'll decide, huh?
Yeah, probably next weekend.
Sounds good. Tony, did you want to reset the room before we get a deeper dive into the rest of the alts? Oh, I have you.
You're muted.
Sorry. You were echoing.
Oh, was I echoing? So I bet I need to reset. Just give me a second, Dave. Why don't you reset the room? Say hello to everybody. I'm going to mute myself because I think I need to reset my microphone.
Sure, man. Let's look in the chat and see what's going on with y'all. We had Crypto Billy. He said, oh, are we still on charts? You know how Billy loves to look at the charts and hang out. He's really going to love the altcoin session of today's show. We've got Mike Vollmer in there talking about free Emma and Randy and get them some emojis. As you guys see, our emojis have gone live. We are excited about that. It's Crypto Coin Mindset. Welcome to the family. Got his emojis. Tex-Mex Biomex got us emoji. Julie's in the chat. Hey, Julie, welcome to the show. Rusty Bot, look at that. For internal use only, he's talking about with the WD-40. That's funny. Let me see here. Crypto Crabman is in the chat. Patricio's still in the chat hanging out with us. I think that's everybody. Did we say hi? Randy's in the chat. I saw Emma was in the chat. Wayne C made it into the chat. Hello to everybody. Y'all have fun. Enjoy the emojis. Let's have a party up in here. You back, Tony?
He is not.
He is not.
No, we don't hear you.
Muted?
We see your mouth moving, but we do not hear you. So DDT, where's Bitcoin dominance right now?
DDT is
You're muted
too.
too.
Got him. Oh, is everybody muted? There, I got
Everyone's
you.
muted. Sorry, my bad.
Can you hear me now? What about now?
Yeah. So Bitcoin dominance for now. Yeah, it's kind of diverging as it's come down on the 4 hours specifically. Although divergences don't have to play out, it's something that we use to kind of see when a trend is kind of losing strength. So 4 hours kind of giving bull divs. My expectation is it will come up a little bit, probably back up to like 65, just above 65 at this point, and then hopefully put in a lower high, and then kind of drop towards 62 to 63, kind of in that zone.
So let's look at this observation. Let's rewind the tape to July of 2020. And let's look at 7/13 specifically of 2020, and let's see where we were at.
Sorry, my computer is being ridiculously slow. Watch 2020
of 2020.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Yes.
So in 2020 July we were at what's 13th?
13th.
So Monday the 13th we were at about 62 to 63, give or take, right? Percent on the dominance.
That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, basically what,
Dominance
4 years.
is exactly the same as it was. And then if you flip over to Bitcoin and at the actual chart and look at where it was on that same date, and look what happened.
Yeah, so the money flows definitely got similarities there, specifically on the 4 hour. I don't know if this has got, I might have to go into Bitstamp. I don't know if Bybit Perpetual's chart has it, but I'll scroll back as far as I can go. Don't think, do we have a 2020 chart? Oh, we did.
Sounds like somebody's got some laundry going in the dryer.
Oh, sorry, that's me. I didn't.
Driver.
I have noise cancellation
Drying
on it.
bricks.
I have noise on. Give me 1 minute.
It's not me for once.
That should help.
Nobody's
put
been
noise-
harmed in the
Put the
filming
noise
of
gate back on.
Yeah, I think I went away. Good job.
So what was it, the 13th as well? Quickly scroll over. So we were at, yeah, the money flow was a bit weaker on Bitcoin, or specifically, obviously, the levels are totally different. It was about 6,000. But we kind of specifically on the daily, the money flow was crossing and kind of messing around, chopping around. Whereas even if we probably found the 4 hour was slightly going red and about to cross green. So from what I would think that, yeah, obviously you had a big pump out of there. So this could kind of have some correlation to what's currently happened now. Although kind of before we started moving up this week, obviously we already had strong daily money flow and strong 4 hour money flow. So there is some correlation, but not necessarily kind of too much, in my opinion.
Well, I find that the dominance being exactly the same as it was this time last bull run tells us a lot.
The cycle's repeating, basically.
And it's rhyming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then that first top came in November, and then we had another one a few months later, right? And going into 21.
Yes. So we had the first one, I think it was August and November, were the first with the two highs of 2021.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not waiting for the second one this time.
Yeah, same. Bitcoin on the last, or most of my alts in Bitcoin on the last, I sold on the way down. Kind of averaged out to like 48 to 50,000. Kind of was my final exits. Kind of that price point. For obviously we literally broke structure on the weekly or the daily. So I got out literally just as we were about to hit support, and then move lower.
So I think we need to see probably low 50s before quote unquote alt season starts.
Low 50s on dominance.
Yeah.
The issue is there is also, I think a lot do say it, but kind of that I think is going to be a real push, specifically with the demand for Bitcoin. I don't think we'll get there. I think maybe high 50s, maybe like 57, 58, if we're lucky. But I don't see dominance going as low as what it was last run, kind of in the last blow off top, that last kind of September to November kind of zone.
I think it got down kind of like 40s last time.
Yeah,
I think is kind of
which
really
now
set
I
everything
think
off.
Of which now I don't think it will go below 50s. Basically, kind of if I'm sticking my neck out, I think it will go into high 50s. And that gives us enough of a run, basically, to at least have some fun with alts.
And because I don't think we're gonna have 4 million alts run. Maybe there's a couple hundred good alts that run. And then you have your, a couple thousand one-offs, of course, that nobody ever heard about. That's not going to do anything. They're just going to pump and dump. Maybe you got a couple thousand of those, but I don't think that we have just a couple few hundred of alts that get in the run.
Yeah,
and I think
selectively as well. I think a few people have said this. Like last run, you could just throw a dart, and literally anything would give you a 2, 3, 4, 5x or whatever, right? Whereas now we do have to be selective. I think the selectivity now comes in the fact of utility and institutional adoption. So those are probably, if I was looking fundamentally, not even just technically at something, I'll be looking at coins that will kind of have mainstay and kind of longevity based on the fact that they've got institutional adoption and good fundamentals. But that for me is kind of where kind of I'd be selecting stuff. So like name dropping things like XRP, HBAR, SCI.
And even I don't think Ondo's
Ondo,
Ondo, I don't think it's made its move. So if we go to the 2-day on Ondo, right? You've got the 2-day bear divs or bull divs, hidden bull divs.
It's up 30 cents over the last couple of weeks.
It's up 30. Yeah, it's up 30 cents, but it's got one of the freshest 2-day buddy pro crossovers in the whole everywhere right now. And if you look at the last one, what it did, it went all the way from 60 cents over to 220, 222. So if you get a 3.5, 4x out of it again from that same pattern, that's a decent buy. And then even if you just get back up to, let's just say you get it, let's say it's a dead cat bounce and it goes to 786, you double your money on it. It's not a bad deal.
There's with Ondo as well. So obviously it's got this range here that I'll just mark out. There's a local profile between say 91, 92 cents, 97, 98 is the POC, $1. So there's a local range just above. So that's why it's wicked into the value area low. I think it's probably an order block as well. Yeah, daily order block, give or take, or 2-day order block in that zone where it's rejected now currently.
Yeah.
4 hour.
And that's the value area that ends at about $1. That's the value area high.
Yeah. That's
I got
it's
that.
just a local profile. I think this was from its pump. It's when would I mark this? Yeah, it's further over. It's like it started quite to the left before it moved up to like 120, 130. I can't zoom that far. But for now, it looks like it's coming down. Obviously overly bullish because literally you've had no waves below the, like on the 4 hour, if you're not getting anything below the 0 line on market cipher B, specifically on the waves, that screams bullish, obviously. So
yeah.
If I was going to have a guess, sorry, my daily naked point controls might be out of sync, but at this point,
you're looking at $1.30 ish
for
your daily naked above us.
I think the quickest way to kind of do this would just be on. No, probably already bounced off it. Yeah. So this anchored VWAP literally from its last kind of higher low or support zone, and yeah, it's literally came back in from like 94, 95 cents, came back in, back tested as support. It's come bounced back up, and yeah, it's probably like 87 cents, kind of give or take, is kind of where it needs to hold. But obviously the VWAP will move up, the anchored VWAP will move up as you go. Volume weighted levels, I don't really see much. Locally, this is probably rejected a 618 or a 786. But yeah, kind of upper targets has definitely still got a lot of room. There is some profiles above that I have. So I have you have a way higher profile, anything from it's about 120 to about 172, 173. The POC's up here. The POC's at 155 of the upper range. So the higher $1 targets is definitely can be substantiated and kind of volume back to say that if it does stop pumping more, it can still get there as well. But also as well, this is in its early days, like you were saying, Dave. It's just had the fresh 2-day crossover. So locally as a support now, 87, 88 cents, and then it needs to break and get back and flip 91 to 92 cents as support. But like most altcoins that kind of have the utility and kind of have pumped quite a bit, it can still do numbers, I think.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit backstage too. The guys and I were talking about, if we're looking for a pump, we would be looking for a pump that's equal to Bitcoin, right? Where Bitcoin's hit all-time high, and then it's hit another all-time high, and then it hits another all-time high. And we haven't seen any of that yet. So that's what we're going to be looking for whenever we're calling for pumps. Is which one of these guys are going to go back to their all-time high? And are there a lot of them that we can identify that won't? That maybe they'll get to their 618, and that's it, and they'll be done. Will, like with ETH, is it going to fake us out at 4K again, or is it going to get past that? I mean, we'll have to see, because every time it's been there before, it created a lower low.
Yeah, I think ETH is a good case to go higher. Specifically, it's got the institutional volume behind it with the ETFs, so that gives me the bias, or kind of one of the main reasons I would think it won't fail. It will at least get back there. But I think I'm kind of more inclined to say that because of the institutional backing on ETH now, that it's also going to at least hopefully get back to its all-time highs. One other thing,
Darren, check this out. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I
No
just
worries.
wanted to show you this too, and something else to make you scratch your head a little bit. So I don't really try to identify patterns, right? I'm a trend guy. I like, just plotting out trends.
Yeah.
And on this particular trend line that I'm highlighting, right? I started it in June of 20, and then this guy down here was right after the actual bottom, right? That was December 22nd. And anytime I draw a trend line, I always tell it extend to the right, just so I can see in the future what zones we're coming into, right? So if you watch this top one, and then you watch this bottom one right here. Kind of watch what happens as we fast forward. I started a new one here, and look, now we're in this trend since October of 23. And then now watch this channel. And look where we're at now. We're through it. I'd like to see it go higher and then flip that top line into support. And if it does that here the next week, I think we're going to the moon, man.
Yeah, it's been respecting.
I really do.
You can see, but I don't know.
Where's the moon, Jimmy?
19,000.
I'm just trying to look in the background.
Being I already said 120 was my low, and I said 180 was my high. And honestly, now I'm starting to believe we're going to somewhere in that 150, 180 range.
Yeah, I think if we pulled the fib, that's where the Bitcoin is at, and that one of the 150 is the 3618, I think. And the guys from the chart guys, they always say that, once you hit all-time high, that's highly likely if you've got momentum that you see 3618.
But that's such a long trend, or a long channel, I should say.
It is.
We did crack out of it back here, right? But we did have a lot of, it's kind of jumbled there. I don't have it stretched out.
And it's wild how those things over time followed, and it respects
how all these events, how all these different events, the MagRib came back, sent us up over that trend line. Inauguration day, things went down. Dude, you think I'm joking, man? All these events that happen, I drop them on a chart, and try to make some sense of it a year from now. Why did this peak? Oh yeah, the MagRib came back. That makes sense.
Jimmy, I was just referencing your kind of levels against spider lines, or trend lines, other trend lines per se. And yeah, we've literally just rejected one on ETH, and there's 3,300, 3,800, 4,500, up to.
Are you looking at Bitcoin or ETH, Jimmy, for yours? That trend was Bitcoin, yeah?
Yeah, this is Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. But spider lines as well. I didn't even look at Bitcoin spider lines at this point. It's one other thing I could look at.
But I love doing that. Anytime I set a trend line, I just tell it extend it all the way to the right. And then as, time goes by, seeing how the price action kind of obeys them on the regular basis is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Without having to get into pulling fibs and looking for uneven butt cheeks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you pull your fib and look for the uneven butt cheek in the wrong spot, you'll get in trouble.
Keep it simple. I'm guilty of overcomplicating a lot of things. But trend lines,
I'm not trying to turn 1 or 2% a day,
horizontal supports and resistances, they work just as good as anything else, right? Simple stuff works just as good.
Yeah,
provided you're staying within trend and within market structure.
Just thought I'd share that, since I normally do not share chart stuff.
That was nice, Jimmy. So another one I think that'll get everybody excited is ADA is just now at its 2-day money flow crossover. So if we look at ADA to where it could go, obviously we know with the highs at around $3, the last time that it did the 2-day money for crossover was right here, right? So we got a decent amount out of it from 35 cents all the way up to $1.31. So it was about a 3x gain, 4x gain. So if you do that again, right, what are you looking at? 283 something?
Yeah, so at the moment, sorry, I'm just checking that I'm on. I don't mind just talking. I don't care. Not really minding if my chart's not shown. But at this, where it's rejected now, this 75 to 80 cent zone is a key resistance. If it breaks that, obviously it can go up to the $1 quite easy, but obviously it has to break above 86 cents first. So ADA as well, same thing. It's in the it's in the like the altcoin. I don't know what they call it. Can't remember what the word is, but obviously like the altcoin
strategic reserve?
Yeah, the altcoin reserve, if you call it that, right?
Mhm.
Or kind of the proudly American, or yeah, there's a whole lot of different names to them, but yeah, that thing. And it seems as if it's got some legs as well. The volume as
Yeah.
well, kind of just basically, if you're just looking at the volume over the last 5 days has been ridiculous on ADA. Kind of for ADA in particular, where it's literally where it went sideways for 10 days with like very low or below average volume on the daily. The like literally since Wednesday, same like Bitcoin basically as well. It's had it's literally had above volume average days. So it's looking good. Kind of my next top levels for ADA is still this 86 cents ish. So 80 to 86 is kind of above us. Let's just quickly.
While we're talking about ADA, did you guys see Charles Hodgkinson on the Sean Ryan show? He did a 5-hour interview.
I didn't watch the 5 hours, but yeah, I saw a couple clips of it.
So I watched the whole 5 hours, and I have to say, every other interview that I've ever watched of Charles, I could not understand anything that he was talking about. I was way over my head most of the time. And this interview, I mean, he really dumbed everything down, and what he's doing makes a lot of sense to me. And after this interview, I'm becoming a big fan of Charles Hodgkinson, even though his main focus may not be Cardano. He enjoys it, but that dude has got his hands in a lot of different pots. Like, he's making glow in the dark plants. And he doesn't just do it because it's a glow in the dark plants. He looks at all the other stuff it could do. Like, so a glow in the dark plant could later on, it could be a plant that detects certain things in the atmosphere. Like if you're a coal miner and it needs to detect some kind of toxin in the atmosphere, it turns this color. It starts glowing this color. So I mean, really, really cool things that Charles was doing, and I was just so glad that he finally dumbed stuff down so I can understand him. He really makes a lot of sense.
He's way too clever, old Charles. He's 12 years old, Wick.
I mean, ADA's trending up, right? 50-day moving average, sloping up, acting as support to the current price. We've got,
let me do this. Drawings.
You got
and
the
its
network
2-day money
upgrade.
flow is fresh, really fresh. So that's not a bad one. I mean, if you got in on spot, that's not a bad deal. You know, and just,
it looks as if it's coming back down to a moving average or EMA, it's good. It's going to come back down to the 200 on the daily, which is at 68 cents. So flip that to support, hold it as support, and go. If you're just looking at, if you're not looking at static levels like the POCs or whatever kind of horizontal levels, if you're just looking at a dynamic support and resistance, a VWAP, a EMA, SMA, then yeah, kind of this is probably the zone now, kind of for it to hold. But we're also looking as well, like the 2-day cross, but the 1 day hasn't. So might just range a little bit, then build up a little bit more strength to go up. But also another coin that's looking really good, or hopefully prompt for more upside. And also as well, full disclosure, I think a few of us have got ADA as part of our spot bag. So I got in somewhere around 23 to 25 cents on ADA. I think it was somewhere there, or maybe it was 32 cents or whatever it was. But I'm more than double my my spot price at the moment, my spot buy. So I'm happy. Gets to 3-4x, I'll be smiling all the way to the bank.
Yeah, I mean, they had that hard fork in January that introduced the decentralized governance. They've got the Midnight sidechain that's coming out and the Hydra Layer 2 solutions. So a lot that's happening with the Cardano blockchain, and then as well as obviously connecting to the Bitcoin as they did. So.
Yeah, they are building, and that's the thing, right? So it's not just the technicals in the chart that's probably pointing to a little bit more upside if it can hold the support, the kind of the key supports.
So let me ask you, Darren.
Also, the fact that there's utility and they're building, and they, even though kind of price has been, you call it suppressed, price has been down, it's not been doing anything. price usually lags kind of those developments within kind of projects coins. So it's good now. Kind of if you're looking at from kind of a Charles kind of perspective, you can now see the kind of developments on Cardano playing out in the price action.
Yeah,
So
and
let me
Grayscale
ask.
filed. Go for it, Dave.
No, go ahead, Tony. Sorry about that.
Grayscale filed for an ETF for Cardano too. So, you know, with the once that gets approved, then maybe that might affect other parts of that.
Yeah, this is the thing as well with all the altcoins. There's quite a few. I think someone has got a Solana ETF, but I don't know how that works. I've not really looked into the dynamics or kind of the intricacies of that. But altcoin ETFs is going to be the probably the next kind of catalyst, if we call it that, if they can get through. But I think as well, we're still waiting for like these bills to get through in America, the Senate or the House or whatever. They need to go through their due processes. Once everything is through and done, I think there'll be I think it's a Clarity Act or whatever it was one of them now. Sorry, I can't think off the top of my head. Not fully prepared because I don't know too much about them. But I think once those bills go through, that would enable kind of big holders like Grayscale to kind of get their ETFs off the ground, specifically altcoin focused. So yeah, Cardano ETF, they'll be heavily bullish. HBAR ETF, wherever it is, like. But obviously, and also as well, there's this thing now where they're even talking about meme coin ETFs, which is, I think the counterparty risk is a lot less in the sense that you don't have to bear the risk of holding the coins, which I think is kind of what has made the ETH ETF and the Bitcoin ETF so successful in their own rights, is that people don't want to hold the coins, they don't want to open a centralized exchange or whatever it is. So it's just ease of access for your kind of traditional investor into kind of cryptocurrency in inverted commas. So yeah, it's kind of helping our ecosystem of coins and of kind of the market capitalization of a lot of things, specifically when those come into effect or kind of get put through.
So let me ask you, if we do get an alt season, will Cardano be included? And if it is included, will it get past the macro 618786 and go to a new all-time high, or will it stall out if it gets there? And that's it.
What's your macro levels? Is that still above? I had a level about 150.
250, $2.
Yeah, I would say at this point, not really kind of going back to, I'll have to search my object tree because I'm not really fully prepared on Cardano, but I think I had levels around $150 to $2, give or take. So in that ballpark, I was thinking it would at least go there, or hope that it at least gets that high. Obviously, things can change, but that's kind of my kind of price prediction at this point for Cardano. It's still got a lot way to go. It's still got to break. Still literally got to break 1.3. Got to break these highs on the daily at 1.3, or between 120 and 130. And obviously, this is just a huge sideways range. So, for the most part, yeah, kind of, I was saying about $150 to $2 would be where I'd be happy to kind of sell a lot of my bag and then leave the rest for the moonshot. And that's only a 2x from coins 2x, like literally overnight sometimes, or in silly season, it can do that. It will just be, we may not get the traditional alt season that we're all accustomed to, or all that have been here kind of in the last bull run. Like I had coins I bought like one day and they were 3x up in a week. Like you get those type of silly runs, right? Or even higher, 8x in a week or something stupid or silly like that. So or kind of to hit my target, it only has to double from here. That seems realistic to me, or kind of easily achievable.
Yeah, I think a double is easily achievable. Maybe even a little bit more than that, easily achievable. And that's one thing, especially if you're buying spot. And I know we've gotten really used to super big gains, but for some of us, a 40% gain on even $1,000, that's significant, and we would take that, and just put it back until the next time. That's not bad, especially if you're able to do it over and over, and you can spot it over and over. Like with Solana, what do you think about Solana? Solana's had a few pumps, but it looks like the 2 days recently crossed over. It's not as fresh as all the rest of them, but I think Solana, if there is one that's going to be included in alt season, I think that's one of them. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Solana, I'm on the daily. So Solana's basically done a full rotation of the macro profile. Bounced at 126, POC at 142-ish, projected the macro POC, or kind of the key value area, at 166. Full rotation. At this point, it's already made all-time high, because obviously the meme season, or kind of last year from August, so it's had an all-time high at about 300. The thing for me as well here, this all-time high volume profile on Solana is the kind of the issue for me, where it's got this resistance up here in this zone, in there, between 160 and 188, and then obviously it's got a value area low at like 182. So it's going to need to, number one, flip this 166, then also flip 180 to kind of start the trend up. It's already trending up, right? So hopefully that's the case, that it carries on. But there is also there is a cause to say that it will probably revert a bit lower, come down a bit before it starts going up. But if it stays in this trend, basically, I think it's good to go. But it also has a lot of resistance. It's like Cardano. It's got every $10-15. Solana's got quite a key resistance level, so it can move in 1% and 2%, 3% for the time being. But for the most part, I was thinking, 220 is kind of where I'm looking at this point. If it breaks the 166 resistance of this value area high, then obviously it flips to support. It's obviously got the 180 where it needs to flip to get up there and obviously trend. And obviously it's not going to go. I doubt. Obviously, we want everything to go straight up, but it's not necessarily the fact that everything will. There'll be retraces along the way. Ideally, at this point, because it's made the all-time high, I'm thinking it is going to need, and also as well, there's less activity on chain now. Kind of meme season is over. That was like last year. There's other narratives and those type of things that play at the moment. So yeah, like 215 to 220 is probably my upside target, but it needs to break 180 first. Obviously, flip this 166, break 180, and then obviously it's kind of got fresh air to get to 215, 220.
Yep, that's the same thing. I'm just playing it from 145 to 210, which is where the weekly negative point of control is at 220, where you're calling it. So
yeah, so that POC in the range. Yeah, so it's looking as if it carries on this trend, the money flow will trend with it. So trend up with it. So not improbable that it kind of cools off a little bit or ranges a bit before it starts its next leg up. Although Bitcoin's kind of slowly having a little bit of a pullback now, so that's obviously affecting current price a little bit. So yeah, that's Solana. Support wise, obviously, it's got this VWAP here, this green oscillator, or dynamic support resistance is at about 158, kind of key. If that drops, and obviously you've got the VWAP, anchored VWAP from the bottom, also as a key support at about 150. So 150 to 158 has to hold for now. Could put the high low somewhere in that zone and then kind of continue up.
Yeah. And so we have also a lot of guys in the community that are really bullish on CAS, and it's got a 2-day fresh money flow crossover into the green. And so we didn't get, it looks like we didn't get, well, we did get a bullish divergence back here on the weekly, or the 2-day back here, but then just a higher low over here. What do you think? Are we going to get back to highs on Caspa? Is that going to get, but it looks like every other time that it had a 2-day crossover into the green, it was a significant move. Like
Caspa's going to 0.
20. Is that going to be tomorrow, Jeff, or can we wait a week?
I don't know what I did with my Casper chart.
We had another one here that went from 14 to 20. So decent jumps on all the 2-day money flow crossovers.
That one. there it is. There, sorry. Casper, yeah, it's weird that the one-day money flow has not come up with it. It's flipped this. This is probably a macro. Just off the top of my head, this will probably be a macro local golden pocket from the lows.
Yeah, right where
Lows
we're at. You are right.
Lows to highs, kind of holds the 786 as support, came back up. It's flipped and held that as support. Yeah, it's not actually got decent ranges on it. I'm just quickly having a look.
You got 11 cents to 16 cents, a decent range up there.
Yeah, there's one between
That's
where
on
we
the
now at
daily.
8. Yeah, there's one up there. There's two. Obviously, you got this one on the side. We are more than likely, I would think, the
So Jimmy,
Yeah, small-
if Casper
small-
hits $1, are we going to see you?
Caspa? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, you said if ETH hits 19,000,
Hey, we don't use cuss words on this
So
show.
I'm just asking, will we see you if Casper hits $1?
Yeah, you'll see me because I don't own that crap.
needs to break above 9 cents. There's a fairly solid resistance level at 9 cents to get to 11 cents. And obviously 11 cents is the breakup higher for it to get to like 15, 16, the higher profile. So between 11, say 10 and 16 cents. There's some intermediate resistances just above it at the moment. 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour's coming out. But I think it's just mainly local price action at this point, just because Bitcoin's having a little bit of a pullback at this point. I think obviously, there was lots of hype with Casper kind of last year and 2023, and that's probably died out a bit. So you just kind of got to trade the price action if this is something you trade. I personally don't trade Casper, and I personally don't hold it. I do look at it every now and again for kind of requests. But for the most part, it is 1 hour's trending down. Money flow looks like it wants to cross 4 hour flat. Locally, I think it's coming back in for a higher low, just based on, although 16 hours got to, it's a bit chopped up.
What's the total supply?
I do not know.
28 billion.
28 billion?
Yep.
Okay.
And what's in
So
circulation at the moment?
Is that what's in circulation, Redman?
So 28.7 billion is max supply. Total supply in circulation is 26.3 billion.
Yeah, so it's almost fully diluted, which is good. But the problem is with a lot of the token supply in circulation, it's going to need some big volume to pick that up for it to start moving. So also as well, luckily now, probably the worst of the dumps, if anyone is in it, should be over in general, now that the bulk of the circulating supply is in. But now that the bulk of the circulating supply is in, the dynamics is that it takes more volume to move it. So that's also something you've got to weigh up with trying to trade it, or kind of, even if you have spot, kind of gauging as to whether it will go up or down. It's going to need a lot more fire beneath it to actually start moving, per se. But that's not to say it's still a relatively lower kind of market cap in regards to kind of what a Bitcoin or a top 10 altcoin is. So it may not take a lot of volume to move it, but it needs volume to move it based on the circulating supply as well, if you're taking that into account. But for the most part, it needs to hold.
So if we were to look at a coin like Gala, so we've had, it looks like, several 2-day money flow crossovers into the green, and it doesn't look like any of them really got us much past 5 or 6 cents.
That's because all of us whales jump ship.
Gala
you're not in Gala anymore?
Credibility.
They turned off earning rewards on nodes.
Wow.
So I said, I'm done.
Oh, wow.
Liquidated. Okay. I still
That's
run the
massive.
node, but too many broken promises. Too many changes. I'm done with them.
Wow.
How recent was
Okay.
this, Jimmy?
Yeah, that had to be recent, huh?
In the last week or
It's
two,
been a
right?
couple. Yep. Yep.
I saw you posting in the team chat.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that was,
no more
you know,
popcorn for Jimmy. You gonna spill out your popcorn?
I thought Homeboy was going to hold it together, but they literally, just made too many moves. Like I said, too many broken promises. Now they want Gala founder node owners to stake 1 million Gala, which I mean I could have easily done, but it's just like, man, what's it going to be next week? I was holding on to that rope for a long time. I mean, I still think, film has some potential. I mean, they're pumping out, and that's why I'm keeping the node on and running, because they are pumping out, different shows and movies and documentaries and such. But as far as, Gala, the gaming side of things, done.
What do you think? Let's look at Dot.
You heard it here first.
So Dot's done the similar things to Gala. What do you guys think about that? So we've had several money flow crossovers that just kind of took us back in between the $9.50 and $12 mark, maybe $11.85 mark, but nothing that's been significant on the 2-day money flow crossover that's getting us anywhere near an all-time high. Do you guys think that they've got some stuff going on behind the scenes? Because it does have a nice full div here on the 2-day, and then we do have it's not quite there, but just barely there on the money flow crossover. Do you think it'll at least get back through the range to $7? Do you think it's got a chance to take out the recent highs at 10? What do you guys think?
I think Polka Dot's got a better chance than Gala. I mean, you're talking about a layer, you're talking about a layer one project. I mean, I don't think we can necessarily do Apple, I don't think we can make a decision on that by just looking at a chart, right? I mean, we got to kind of look at what the projects are about, right? Nothing in gaming has really done anything. With a layer one, I mean, you still got potential there. And if nonetheless, I mean, if you're just putting money in and staking and the price doesn't tank, I mean, that's a good conservative play.
There's an argument to make that it can't really tank from here. I mean, it's held this bottom pretty well. It's gone a little bit lower, but it's held that bottom pretty well.
But yeah, I mean, I guarantee you over the last 3 weeks, well, I can tell you for sure, at least 5 million Gala have been put back on the market between myself and Dr. Wookie, because he's out too.
Yeah, I remember having Dr. Wookie on the show. We have to have him back again. That was an exciting show, fun show, something different that day. So you and Wookie is out. I guess I missed the announcement in the team, so I didn't even know that you were done.
Well, I was contemplating it when they made that announcement, and then, I'm just kind of, reading between the lines. I mean, there was a lot of direction change when the two owners were together, and then, now if they've parted ways and there's only one left, I mean, he's trying to make changes for the future, but it's like, crap, we've heard that many a times over the last 2 or 3 years with all the different changes they've made, over that time period. So, I'm more than patient. And, I think Dr. Wookie was too. I mean, he was really promoting their token. He was one of the #1 creators for Gala. And if you go check his channel, he might mention it, but there's not dedicated stuff like he used to do. But there are several other, node related projects that he's into that I'm into also. But yeah, man, I mean, at this point, one more downturn, which I think will come, before we rocket anywhere. Well, I mean, I could buy it all back and get right back in cheaper than I was in it. So, I mean, we'll see, but I am out at the moment. I have maybe 3,000 gala left at this point, and that's just what's sitting on my
Wow.
my gala account, on their website, because I still have to, buy NFTs and crap like that for the film node. But it really chapped me pretty bad. I've been running that film node for a couple of years, and I mean, I've accumulated just from the node. I mean, I think I bought 12,000 film, and that was just to boost a couple of the movies that they had out. But I haven't bought any, and I'm sitting on, I don't know, 280,000 film token, and that was all node rewards, every bit of it. And yes, Billy, you have more gala than I do for the first time in history. Yes, that is a true statement.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of hiccups with some of the memberships and stuff. I gifted 5. I don't think those got handed out. We're gonna check into with YouTube and stuff. But so since we're talking altcoin outlook, why don't we, since we're running short on time to end, why don't we talk about maybe the first top 2 or 3 of the OG tokens that you think are going to be likely to bounce? We'll just go around the room, and then maybe 1 or 2 of the newer altcoins that are primed for growth. I know that we probably already talked about some of them already, but I would say Cardano is probably primed for growth, and then maybe Litecoin. Maybe Litecoin could finally get some push. There's 31 altcoins that have ETFs filings, which is quite a bit, and then obviously the Bitcoin ETF inflow of capital is probably affecting, maybe slowing down the altcoin bounce, but newer altcoins, Ondo, I think, is the one that I'm looking at. But what about you all?
So I'd have to push back on LTC, just because whenever Randy interviewed Charlie Lee, it seemed like his idea for Litecoin was for it to be actual money and for it to be stable and to be used as payments back and forth. I don't think anywhere in his thought process does number go up. I think he's happy with number be down, number go sideways. I think he just wants it to be more of a payment. So I'm not sure if Litecoin, maybe it does, but it seems like that's not his goal. His goal is just for it to be a payment method and for people to use it peer to peer. So we'll just have to see. But I would say Ondo for sure. And I haven't bought it back into Ondo. And if I can get a pullback on Hype, I would like to get on Hype.
How about you, Redman?
For me, it's I just put a short out today on Chainlink. I think Chainlink has a lot of upside. I think Chainlink could be, one of those ones where you get in right now and you're looking at a 2x by the end of the year, somewhere
So
around
what you mean by put a short out? You mean you put a short video out? You didn't short Chainlink, right?
Oh no, a short video. Sorry, no, sorry about that, Dave. Yeah, I should have clarified. A YouTube short, YouTube short video on Chainlink. I'm super bullish on Chainlink. They just partnered with Ripple. They have the Swiss bank partnership. They're the biggest oracle in crypto. There's so much upside to them. They were really getting racked there for a while. A lot of people weren't happy with their price action, and they were getting a lot of FUD from people complaining about not 5xing by now and all this other stuff. But I believe in fundamentals, and they're very strong fundamental coin. They have a lot going on. And I think Link and I think Sui. I think Sui is another one that that I'm looking at big time. I'm following the price action on Sui. It's actually built, and I didn't know this until I did the YouTube short, but it's actually built in the same blockchain infrastructure that Diem. If you guys remember, Facebook was going to drop cryptocurrency, and they were going to call it Diem. And that same infrastructure is the same infrastructure that powers Sui right now. And Sui's seeing some great progress within the ecosystem. And I believe it's one of those alts that could really sneak up on people and go really high, really fast. Andy's always talking about live peers. It's hilarious. I always get texts from her on live peer, but no, and that's not bad, Andy. I'm just joking with you, but live peer is another good crypto. But yeah, those are the two that I'm kind of watching for the rest of the year. Other than Bitcoin, as you guys know, Bitcoin is my biggest part of my portfolio. I believe in Bitcoin. I believe what it stands for, but there's always those alts out there that you keep your eye on with great tech. And I think those two have great tech and they have great fundamentals. So they've been around for, I don't know, Sui, not as long as Link, but they've been around for a while and they have some stability to them. You can invest in them. You don't have to worry about them rugging on you.
And Link has a high time frame that could POC up at about 24. So just, to make it back up to 24 is $9, which is not a bad gain. What is that? 15 or 70 something percent up.
Yeah.
So it's not bad just to get it back up there. And I mean, Link being it, in everything like it is, all-time highs at 53, I think it maybe is a lot more likely than DOT back at 50 something.
What about you, DDT?
Just 3 coins. Probably I'm bullish on at this point. Still Cardano, hold the bag. So yeah, still a lot going on there. Could move. Obviously, Chainlink. It's now currently after Bitcoin my second biggest bag. Kind of entered. I think my average entry is between 5 or half halves. So I'm still decently up. Have taken some profit. So if we can get to close to 20, or between 20 to 25, I'll be really happy. That would probably be another one. So, but yeah, Link as well. From last run, I made a killing on it. So it's good tech. It's one of the only decent oracles out. So it needs to be used by a lot of blockchain infrastructure to kind of link a whole lot of things and move data and do what it needs to do. So yeah, so Chainlink, Cardano, and then I'm going to say HBAR as another one.
Oh wow,
there's been a lot of
HBAR is good.
There's been a lot of decent. I don't hold HBAR, but if I was bullish on anything, it's kind of my underdog. I know a few friends that have quite big bags of HBAR, and it's now starting to move, and they're making a lot of money now on their spot. It's moved. It's had a lot of bullish news, fundamentals. So
but money flow is just now crossing over on HBAR, so that could be good.
I think they have a partnership with Apple or some. they have a big partnership they just announced. I can't remember who with, but So like these proverbial dino coins, these proverbial dino coins is like, I think they do a face melt, which some of them have already done. I think HBAR doubled in like 2 weeks, like within the last week or two, it's doubled. So it went from like whatever sub 20 cents to 28, I think it is somewhere there now, 28, 29 cents. So it's moving. My
HBAR holding is 100%. A lot of you know this, but we were in Sin City show one day and Mance was on, and I sent a message to Dave and I was like, if you can get Mance to say "Hola," I'll buy $3,000 worth of HBAR, and that was at 3 cents, and I've been sitting on it ever since.
Wow,
good job.
Yeah, you guys should see the green candle on the daily for HBAR. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was up 24% at one point today.
Yeah,
so it's moving well.
There's a lot of global firms that are in it: Google, IBM, Nvidia, Boeing. So
they announced another partnership, and I think that's also obviously Bitcoin. With Bitcoin moving and alts moving, it was generally going to run, but kind of the fundamentals are kind of gives it a little bit more fuel to its fire, like anything. Yes, coins can just pump just purely off technicals, but specifically kind of the utility stuff, coins that have real use case and real utility, they'll generally also move when they have decent fundamental kind of news, which is the case with a lot of things of late.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Well, Jimmy, looks like we're getting close to Jimmy's final notes, but we've had some people request to open the club, so I don't know what
including myself,
including yourself. Well, then what are we waiting for?
Rebel
All right. The club has been opened, and let's
All right.
lead right into Jimmy's. You've been talking the whole time. You got final thoughts too, Jimmy?
No, I was just, if anything, I would say, you know, we're kind of encroaching on, you know, that period of time where people get antsy, start doing dumb stuff. You know, I mean, if you've ridden it through the bear market up to now, man, just hang on to it. You know, I know there was a couple of times in the past weeks where I was looking at different assets I had, and I was like, you know, am I better suited moving this over here or over there? And you know, I don't want to have any regrets of just trying to, you know, liquidate one asset, throw it into Bitcoin, and then, you know, as everyone does, they do that, and then something takes off. You know, I've mainly just really been focusing on, you know, getting my dollar cost average down, you know, and just again trying to be patient. When I think I'm being patient, be more patient. I think we're still a few months away before seeing any tops. You know, that could easily spill over into next year. I mean, if you look at the last run, it did that very thing. But I would start kind of, you know, getting some numbers in your head per asset. You know, if this asset hits, you know, whatever your number is, you know, take the gains, man. You know, it may not be exactly what you want, but you know, you're not going to go broke taking gains. So hang in there, everyone. Be patient.
Well, no, Jason Casper has a sell order at 120,000. So it's time. So watch where your profit is. Like Jimmy said, have a number. Whenever you get to that number, take your money. We'll do it again next time.
Yeah. There's going to be plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, man. This is the time.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you for everybody who did sign up as a subscriber. I know that some people have had issues. We're sorry for that. Obviously, we just tried to do that during the stream and launch that. And we've got our different emojis out. We added the Otter Gang emoji because we had enough to add another one. And Dave had already prepped it for us. So we should have some more emojis out next week or as we coming up in this week. There will be no new motivational mindsets this week, but we will have some OG ones playing. You know, you can always dive back into the playlist, so we'll have a few of the OG ones that we'll replay this week on our show. And then who do we have coming this Tuesday?
Darcy Donovan.
That's right, Darcy Donovan and Stardogs. So Stardogs with Darcy Donovan will be joining us. We'll also be talking business on Tuesday, so come join us Tuesday. We have Darcy Donovan. Stardogs have some big announcements they want to share with us as we go live. And remember, 8 p.m. Eastern, new time, same bat channel, new bat time.
With that being said,
final words, guys. We're running on the time.
No, man. Check into Keith after the show. You know, Crypto Coin Mindset goes directly after we go on. Hit the chat. Drop your goats in the chat and show the love. Hashtag Givers Gang. Let's go, Givers Gang. All
right. So stack sats. And let's get out of here for the day. Love you, fam. Hope you enjoy the new emojis, and we'll have some more. Give us some ideas of what you'd love to see, and we'll put that into the queue and vote on it as a team. All right. See you next time live on our YouTube next Sunday. Adios.
We are Billy Goat Tail. We love you, fam. Hashtag Givers Gang. 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 We are Billy Goat Tails. We are Billy Goat Tails.